Hey guys, welcome. My name is Chris Anderson, and today I'm going to talk about HTML elements and attributes. So let's go ahead and fire up Visual Studio Code. And a side note, this is free software. If you don't have it, you could download it at no cost. It's a great tool to code in. So what I've done, I've made a elements.html file, and I've got some HTML code in here. What I want to do is add a few elements, and then we're going to add some attributes to those elements. So what is an element? An element is it's a start tag with some content and an end tag. So everything on this page is an element except for this document type here. This HTML tag, it's an element. If you hover over these in Visual Studio Code, you can see some details on what these are. So here we can see it represents the root of an HTML document. You got the head, title. It's just some very helpful information if you want to go through that way. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to add a heading to my web page, and we'll call this Elements and Attributes Tutorial. So this heading is an element. You can see this is the start tag, some content, and then the closing tag or the end tag. Okay, let me run this, and we're just going to go to where we saved this elements.html file, and we're just going to double click to open up the browser, and you'll see here's my heading, Elements and Attributes Tutorial. So far we've got an element. Let's add another one here. We're going to add a paragraph. So this is our second element. P is for, it represents a paragraph. Let's go ahead and go back to the browser, and you can see this is some text from our tutorial webpage. So now we've got a header and a paragraph. Next, I'm going to add an attribute to this element, the paragraph element. And so an attribute is, it comes in like a name value pair. So what you could do, well, name value. That's the syntax for adding an attribute to an element. So for this one, we're going to add a style element. So this is the name, and we're going to add the value. Let's go with color, and we'll make it, let's go red. This is a CSS style, but that's in something we can talk about in another video. And so now we've got this attribute added to it. Let's see what happens to our web page once we refresh. All right, so that attribute changed the way that this text is displayed. So now it's red instead of black. We're going to add another one here that's called title. And this title is an attribute that will display a tooltip. All right, so now we've added a title to this. And so what a tooltip does is when you hover over, you know, it's a little hard to see, but a tooltip showed up to put the text additional information on there. Let's add one more element. This one's going to be image. So I added an image to my project. It's called Hello World. And so we're going to add the image attribute, which is img. and image element, and we're going to add the source attribute, which is the name of that file, hello world.jpg. Okay, so we've got a new element with its attribute, the source, which is where that the name of the image here. So let's go back to the web page and let's see what we've got. All right, so an image showed up. So now we have a header, a paragraph, and an image. These are all elements. And let's add some attributes to this image. So one thing you always have to add on an image is the alt tag, which something that's required because it will display if there's some issue with the image loading. And this can be for compliance if someone is using a screen reader, for example, and they're just not able to see that image. So this is something that needs to be there for every image. We're going to add another attribute, width, and we'll make that 100, and we'll add a height. These are other attributes that you can add. So let's see what happens here when I come back to the page. All right, it made it smaller. So I put in the width and height so I can control how wide or how high this element is. And let's see, what else could we do here? We've got, oh, even for the body. So I'm gonna add a CSS style to this body. We're gonna use the same thing like the color. It will make this light gray. And let's come back and refresh. Oh, wait. Body style. Let's make, okay, we're gonna go background color, not color. So background color will change the background and color will change the text. So I want to change the background color of this page. All right, so now you can see it's a light gray, and even that tooltip, it now pops off the page a little bit better. Now those are CSS styles. This isn't the best practice putting the style element in there, but this is just to show how you can add attributes to these elements. Okay. All right, guys, so that's just a quick overview of what an element is and how to add an attribute to that element. And that pretty much wraps it up for this video on elements and attributes. So guys, thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next time.